Hello, I am Dr. Camran Nezhat, the founder of the Worldwide EndoMarch. I would like to thank everyone around the world on behalf of more than 70 chapters of EndoMarch for the attention, for the assistance, for their care for patients with endometriosis, their families, and their communities all around the world. We are everyone in all the chapters of Worldwide EndoMarch around the world, the captains, the volunteers, the patients, their families. They thank you for what you are doing for the patients with endometriosis around the world to raise awareness, to do more research, to help patients with endometriosis, their physicians, their researchers, their communities, their politicians to find ways that we put an end to the dynasty of such a very, very common disorder. And endometriosis, thanks to you, all of you, since you responded to our call 10 years ago to raise awareness, has made significant more improvement and progress than 10 years ago. And we are getting more and more, and hopefully getting to some places that, and some progress that we never had it for many years before. And that is all because of you and because of your interest. And I sincerely thank you on behalf of EndoMarch everywhere. With the holidays coming on us, and all of you in a position of hopefully celebrate and have a good time with your families around the world, around the time of the holidays, and at least have a break, we decided to share with you the journey of one of our endometriosis patients, Marketa, her husband Ryan, her baby Estella, and the second baby, and also answer some of the questions that comes along the way. But endometriosis, as I have said it for years and years, is a whole body disease. It is a systemic disease. It doesn't discriminate which organ, and it is far more common. Our research indicated that endometriosis is far more than 170 million that had been reported for years. Our research has indicated that the presence of endometriosis worldwide in the reproductive age people is at least around 1 billion. And that is our, we have published this data in the Journal of Fertility and Sterility, in the Journal of Society of Laparoscopic and Robotic Surgeons. Those data has been reported. And more data, and hopefully with more labs that they are becoming available with researchers around the world, that is going to be confirmed further of that presence. And because of that, it's so common and unfortunately so misunderstood and underdiagnosed and unappreciated. Many patients around the world, even they suffer it from not only from pain and infertility and organ dysfunction. Many of these patients, because they don't know they have endometriosis, even when they get pregnant, they have complications that those complications are related to endometriosis. So that is why we, Worldwide EndoMarch, pioneered with artificial intelligence, was developed an app that it is completely free and at least could guide the patients towards the diagnosis of endometriosis, and it is called Nezhat Endometriosis Advisor. It's completely free. It is on Worldwide EndoMarch. It is on Apple and Android. You can use it anywhere around the world you want without the expense of undergoing surgery or any kind of lab test to see if your chances are and how much are for endometriosis. So you can use that app to also help you with endometriosis. And because of your interest, Worldwide EndoMarch has also started another initiative called American and Global Congress of Endometriosis Subspecialists, that beginning of next EndoMarch in its inaugural year, many experts, surgeons from around the world are going to start teaching endometriosis to the younger generation. And this society is going to be including the public, the patients, their families, and the surgeons. So all of them, they collaborate together. It's a mixture of both societies. It is not going to be separate, because patients with endometriosis are integral. They should be part of this education because this is for them. So these are all good news I give you for this holiday season. I know tonight is Christmas Eve for many of you who are celebrating Christmas. I wish you the most wonderful Christmas holiday season. And because again, it is Christmas Eve and also Christmas Day in some areas, Christmas Eve in some area. So to bring you the good news, I'd like to introduce you to Marketa and her husband Ryan and the little baby Estella, and also she gives you the good news about the next baby coming. Marketa, are you online? So let's see how I can get Marketa. When someone joins, anyone who can see the live video.
Yeah. Can you see us?
Okay. Request to join. So I don't. Oh, here we are. Perfect.
No, you're good. You're good.
Okay.
Yeah, perfect. Hello, Marketa. Hello, Ryan.
Hi. Can you see us?
Hi.
Yes, yes. Happy holidays to you guys.
Happy holidays.
Thank you. You too.
Good to see you again.
Wonderful to see both of you. I'm sure your little beautiful, wonderful Estella is somewhere around.
Yes.
And I would like to thank you, and I want to congratulate you, and also wish you the most wonderful holidays. And I thank you very much for willing to share your wonderful story with our patients and also friends all around the world. So tell us a little bit, Marketa, how did you end up with your endometriosis, and tell us the story of your endometriosis. We would love to hear it.
Mm-hmm. So about in 2015, we decided wanting to start a family, and we were ready. And it wasn't happening for a while. It was about a year that we decided to go into a fertility clinic. We found an amazing doctor, Dr. Kelly Beck, and we did a few rounds of IUI, and then we did a round of IVF. And as we were ready to do a transfer, she she asked me to do a couple of, if I wanted to do additional tests for my uterus, and I had some weird sensations in my uterus, like burning, and I just had this feeling in my intuition that I need to, there's probably something, I don't trust my uterus. So she ran an additional test and came back positive for endometriosis. And that was the first time I have actually ever even heard about it. I mean, I knew about endometriosis and PCOS from just reading about it, but I actually didn't think I had it. My periods were not too painful. They were painful. I had a lot of blood clots, and they were pretty heavy, very heavy actually. But the pain was not too of a concern for me. I guess I was told periods are painful, so that's why I didn't think twice about it. So yeah, after
that is a very good point that you are making, and you know exactly what you said. You know, Dr. Kelly Beck is one of the most outstanding infertility specialists in the country, and she has helped countless number of the patients, and I see her patients regularly, and it's amazing how she diagnoses endometriosis and in the patients. And tell us more how Dr. Beck didn't start right away doing IVF and many IVFs. And tell us, because previous time I thought you were being sort of, nobody was listening to it. Tell us more about how did it happen in your fertility journey and the story.
Yeah, I didn't. They have, each doctor has their process. I don't know. Like, her process was, first let's try IUI. I still kind of wonder why we should just test for endometriosis like right away. That's what I would do.
Because she was very, very smart. Because she was
like,
because exactly that is many infertility specialists, unfortunately, they don't believe that endometriosis interferes with infertility, and that is why she believed it. So tell me what happened next.
Well, next I had my surgery with you. I was lucky to schedule it pretty fast, a couple of months after my test, and I had surgery with you. It was very successful, and you told us you have a good chance to conceive, and we conceived the next month naturally, absolutely naturally. It was, yeah, I was shocked. I was very surprised, but it was right away we got pregnant naturally. And I can go back in time, but we had Estella in September 2019, and now she's 4 years old and a couple of 3 months, and we're expecting another baby that was also conceived naturally. And what's interesting is that I read about the estrogen dominance when you have endometriosis, how it grows back, and so I kept breastfeeding throughout the whole, like, until she was 3.5, and we were kind of trying to get pregnant, let's say maybe a year. Yeah.
This year?
Yeah. With the second.
Yeah.
I would say a year, but very like just no, just if it happens, it happens. No pressure, like not just kind of see if it's in the cards. And it did happen, but I think I was at the end of the journey for the breastfeeding. I don't think there was like that much milk left, but still I felt like it was preventing me from maybe the growth of the endometriosis. I did it on purpose. I kept going. And sometimes they can prevent you from conceiving as well, breastfeeding, right? But it did happen to us because I was at the end of it. I probably didn't have that much milk, and also so was the breastfeeding. And what else is helping with just breastfeeding, I think. And I did it because I felt good protection for her, because it was through COVID. So I just kept going. And that's what I give credit to the new conception that I think the breastfeeding really helped me. But I'm not, you know, not everybody's. I feel very fortunate to be able to have breastfed for that long. It's not usual, but I think it helped me. That's what I think. But you know better. You know better than I do. So yeah. So now we're due in about 2.5 weeks, and yeah, my pregnancy has been great, amazing, and I'm 42 years old, and I'm gonna turn 43 in May.
Well,
Yeah.
Congratulations, Marketa, and you look only 32 years old, and very, very congratulations. Very happy for you, and you are exactly correct. Everything. When you breastfeed, because you do not usually ovulate, usually, not always,
Right.
because gradually, it doesn't always work that way. But when you breastfeed and usually you don't ovulate, you don't have a period, and that is a natural way of the contraception. That is how the nature made it. And although it is not 100%, that has several benefits. First of all, you can breastfeed the baby. Second, because it prevents the ovulation, you do not achieve pregnancy. And gradually, when like Estella got older, then you started ovulating, then you get pregnant. Now, if Ryan is available, I like to ask Ryan also a question. That how, yeah, when he.
Okay, I'll be back.
I know you have to go ahead and take care of Estella and come back.
Yes.
So Ryan, it is a very wonderful to see you, and you look great. Would you please say your perspective from this journey with endometriosis, dealing with it as your wife Marketa had to go through this process, and what is your advice for the other patients and their families and their communities?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think ultimately I just had to be as supportive as possible. It was, it was frustrating every month, like month after month. And, we were doing a lot to be as healthy as possible. And so it really felt it was very discouraging, kind of month over month. And then, after seeking the fertility treatment, we became more optimistic in general, but still we're not having success. And so, we after the IVF treatment, we had 2 embryos, and, ultimately we wanted to have 2 kids. And so we knew we didn't have many chances. So, when Dr. Beck offered the test for endometriosis, it felt like the safest thing to do, as opposed to like, no, let's just try to do it. It was like we were almost out of options, so you really want to try everything possible, and if anything, gives us more insight into what's going on, that we want that, right? So so we went for it, and thankfully, we were referred to you like right away, so there was no delay. It was not like, you have to wait 6 months to a year or something like that. It was like, I don't know, within like a month or 2. And then, you gave us a lot of optimism yourself when you said, you did have Marketa did have endometriosis, and the surgery was successful, and you have a good chance of becoming pregnant naturally. So I think you gave us some optimism there, which obviously helps. But yeah, literally the next month. So it was like, it was kind of amazing just to see that happen. And, we were so grateful. We literally found out on Christmas Day. I think it was Christmas Day, or it was on Christmas Day when she like took the pregnancy test. And it was almost like, I don't know, it was beyond our wildest imaginations of what good news could possibly happen. So, that was obviously a major success. And, it was like, once it happened, it was like, we got to make sure like this works, and so it was still a little bit nerve-wracking. nerve-wracking. Having to kind of wait out the whole pregnancy and hoping everything went well. You know, we had never gotten this far before. This was the first for us after 3 years. So, you know, we were just like walking on eggshells, right? So, but once everything, you know, happened, it was like as smooth could possibly be. And even with this last, you know, we were only really trying for a year, and like she said, she was breastfeeding. So, again, really, really happy, and almost, I mean, I hate, like, you know, I don't want to make this seem that, I mean, we certainly feel lucky, but, you know, I feel like it is something of the past, and we'll see, you know, obviously once, you know, we'll see what happens if it comes back. And, you know, I think now we're just going to, you know, she's just going to be checking for it somewhat regularly. And, but it feels like it's really a thing of the past. And
How do you check for it?
I don't know. Anyway, yeah, that's,
You're good.
yeah.
You're good. No, you're good. You can say.
Okay.
I don't know.
No, Ryan, thank you very much for touching important points. Thank you very much. And you know what Ryan said is exactly correct. I mean, often we forget about the partners, patients who are with endometriosis. They go through a lot, and we often forget the people, the families of the patient with endometriosis. It is just like when there is a patient on the wheelchair, everybody pays attention to the patient on the wheelchair, but they don't pay attention to the person who is trying to push that wheelchair and has to go through the trouble. So
I definitely thought there was some part of it that was me as well. And you know, and Dr. Beck even said, like, you know, there's probably some things that could be improved. And so it wasn't just like, it definitely felt like we were both, you know, involved in it in some way. There were some, we were both kind of, it was happening to both of us, even though I wasn't the one experiencing, you know, the physical piece of it. So
exactly. I am just referring to the emotional, the heartbreaks that you had to go through because you love your wife, and every time when, and I have dealt with this for many years, many decades. I don't want to go over it, but I have seen it, how it could be, it's just heart-wrenching for the partner of the patient who tries to get pregnant. They don't get pregnant every time they are waiting. And thank goodness, I see the happiness very, very often, more often, the success and the happiness than the other side. So that is why I wanted to talk to Marketa and Ryan, that there is hope for people. And what Ryan was referring to about the test that Dr. Kelly Beck did, there are several tests that are at the present time available that could direct the patients towards the presence of inflammation, and because endometriosis is an inflammatory process, that is the test that patient could request their infertility specialist do, or once again the Nezhat Endometriosis Advisor app, that it is completely free and could be downloaded from the iPhone and also from the Android, and directs you at least to see if you may have endometriosis. And then if it says your chances are high, you can at least get a consultation. But again, or ask you, then they may want to run another test or so on and so forth, as long as you find the proper consulting physician. So the point that you are making, Ryan, is very, very appropriate and correct, that it is good to not lose hope and find the right person, just in your case, Dr. Beck, and there are several other good, there are some many infertility specialists that they do believe or endometriosis specialists who do believe endometriosis could create that. So it is always good that patient research and find the right physician to direct them in the right position, because unfortunately sometimes some of the surgeries are being done by all the physicians are good, they mean well, they want have the best intention to do the right thing for their patient, but sometimes they are not aware, and what the mind doesn't know, the eyes don't see. Some physicians are not aware of this, and they are not able to, and because there is not enough knowledge, and that is why we are trying to raise awareness. So what is your advice of you, Ryan, and Marketa for other patients? What do you recommend for them in their journey?
Yeah, I don't know if, obviously we came from a place of where we were privileged enough to be able to do the fertility treatment, right? Like if we didn't, we may, and some people I'm guessing don't have the opportunity to even check for it. You said that you can potentially check for it, so that's obviously great. I would do that. Especially if infertility is an issue and there's no other obvious reasons why. That was the hardest thing, was like, because the fertility doctor says the same thing when all the other, there's still a chance that we just don't know why, and so when you don't know an answer, it just really makes your.
For us, it was like unexplained or something,
unexplained,
right?
yeah.
For us, it was unexplained. We couldn't figure out why until the test, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 3 years later. But the question was about what do you recommend?
I would say follow the. I mean, like I said, like if we had known about endometriosis before we needed to go to a fertility doctor, I would do that. Again, I don't know exactly how easy that is, but I would certainly want to have it looked into before going down a really long and expensive road.
I mean, I meet women all the time, and when I tell them my story, they say, "Oh, I have endometriosis. Oh, I have endometriosis." So many of them have it. It's like so common, and I don't know how they got diagnosed, but some of them early in life, some later. But when I share my story, it's amazing how many women say, "I have it." I mean, almost every. Like seriously, everyone I talk to, it's incredible. And I'm sure things have improved in the last 4 or 5 years since we've done our test. You said you have your app, and then there's other ways to find out. Like things have progressed in the awareness and the test and everything, right? Like it's more talked about, more people know about it. So that's important, because I didn't know, right? So I didn't know. So how am I supposed to research if I don't know what's it called? What is it? So it's important to raise awareness. Yes, because that's very helpful.
Yeah.
And for couples, don't lose hope when they're going through fertility treatments. And we were determined.
Yeah.
This is wonderful that you are bringing up, and thank you very, very much. This is excellent point. Please tell us, what do you mean when you say unexplained infertility? Because this is a very, very important area, and that is, I appreciate it. Just would you elaborate more, both of you?
Yeah, I mean, obviously they do testing in terms of our eggs, and then they do testing in terms of sperm, and
everything seemed
like it was okay. I went to a renowned urologist to do my testing, and it was like, it was just it was just unexplained, and it never seemed like, and again, like I didn't know about it. No one told us about endometriosis, and so we are really glad that the awareness has become much more prevalent. I would just hope that there's enough medical professional surgeons like yourself that know how to be successful with this procedure. I don't know where that stands in the United States or worldwide. So I'm hoping that there's more opportunities for women who are going through this to get the medical procedure or the medical advice done well, and that so many other women out there could be successful with not only pain management, but
well, this is, I thank you, Ryan, again, and Stella. What Ryan and Stella are referring that they say unexplained infertility. For those of you who are joining us again, I am Dr. Camran Nezhat, the founder of the Worldwide EndoMarch. On behalf of all the EndoMarch around the world, we'd like to thank all of you for your devotion to the patients with endometriosis and their cause of pain, infertility, and organ dysfunction. So we are sharing the good news of happiness of Stella and Ryan, because I'd like to give you good news. Endometriosis, thank goodness, is a benign condition for the most part. The prognosis usually is very, very good if it is managed properly. It is important to diagnose it early, because if endometriosis is diagnosed early, it could be managed properly, because the earlier you diagnose endometriosis, and you know more about it, you know you can do a lot more about it. When Ryan was, and also Marketa, they were referring to unexplained infertility, means in the case of the female patient, or in case of the Marketa, in this case, all the labs, they were normal. All the x-rays, ovulation, everything was normal. And also Ryan's sperm count, everything was normal. I have permission to say that, because they said it is unexplained infertility. So I am, with their permission, I say that, because they were all normal. And 95% of the patients that I see, they are in the position that they don't come to me, a lot of these patients, because they have the husband, they are trying to have a child, the sperm count is normal, and the ovulation is normal, the HSG is normal. They have tried to get pregnant and they don't get pregnant. They have had, many of them have had IVF, that the IVF didn't work. So they have received, many of these patients, hormones, that the hormones didn't work and didn't help them. So this is called unexplained infertility for the patient with endometriosis. And many of these patients have no pain, because endometriosis doesn't always cause pain. And often many patients have no pain at all. And it is important for us to recognize, and we are hoping to find a method that diagnoses endometriosis early, in early life, because if we diagnose endometriosis in a patient when the patient is in teenage years, then we are aware there are methods that we can use to hopefully control the progression of endometriosis, because endometriosis is a progressive disease. And unfortunately, sometimes I see patients, teenagers, that they have had large endometrioma, that means cysts on their ovaries, that are chocolate cysts or endometriosis cysts. And unfortunately, some of them have lost their ovaries or their reproductive function, and that is not fair. So if we know early, and we have a test to diagnose early the endometriosis, then we can as Marketa was mentioning it, in her case, the breastfeeding was keeping endometriosis in check. And sometimes in the younger, when the patient who is in teenagers and they are not ready to have a child, and we know they have endometriosis, there are many methods that we may use in the form of progesterones, in forms of perhaps there are different kind of hormones that they are the side effects are minimal, like progesterones in the arm or in the form of IUD or pills, or sometimes birth control pills. We can't control the progression of endometriosis. And because when we control the progression, then the endometriomas, the ovaries, the young patient, the teenage girl, and in her early 20s, the patient wouldn't lose, and the patient wouldn't lose the ovary that is the source of providing the egg for fertilization, because endometriosis is a progressive disease. Another issue is many patients with endometriosis get pregnant, and it doesn't always cause infertility, but many of these people, they miscarry. And one of the main reasons of early miscarriage in patients is endometriosis, you see. So endometriosis, when we diagnose it early, we know that it could cause miscarriage. So early miscarriage is one of the indications, and repeated miscarriage, it could be endometriosis, definitely could cause that. Endometriosis also could be associated with other complications associated with pregnancy. Sometimes endometriosis could cause bleeding or some placental abnormalities during pregnancy. So endometriosis could be a sneaky. The patient could get pregnant. She said, oh, I am getting pregnant, I have no endometriosis, but that's not the case. There are patients that have endometriosis, but they have miscarriage, sometimes bleeding, sometimes placental abnormalities, and even after they deliver a baby, in some cases, with endometriosis patient, they could have complications. So we are in an urgent need of finding a blood test. There are blood tests, saliva tests, etc., but these are coming to the market. But we need even more and more specific tests that are affordable for the whole world, that we know this endometriosis exists and we can help the patient. And the story of Marketa is that she says, look, she was okay, Ryan was okay, this is unexplained infertility is so common. And I want to see if Marketa has any more explanation, and tell her a little bit more about the amount of cramping she had, but you thought this was normal or heavy bleeding. Can you elaborate on that, please?
My mom had the same thing. She said, I have cloths, my bleeding is heavy. I just went based on like her experience, but she probably has it too. So is it, you think it's also inheritary, like from inherited? Yeah. And no, I really didn't give it too much thought, really. I just never thought it was something to be concerned about too much. So yeah, I thought other things were wrong, but not my period. Yeah, I don't know.
Want me to stand here?
No, you don't have to. Just you can. So, and what else was I had something else I was gonna share, but I forgot.
No, you remember. As you are going to remember it, I want to touch upon what Marketa said. You see, this is unfortunately the problem with endometriosis, is being gaslit
Right.
by by mother, by sister, by teacher, by doctor, everybody, because they think, oh, there are young patients in their teenagers that they cannot go, or in their early 20s, they have so much pain that they cannot go to school, they stay home. But and the mother or the sister tell them, oh, that's normal. I had the same thing and you will grow out of it. When you get older, you will be okay. Excuse me, I just dropped my I dropped my earphone. Okay, sorry. So they say that when you complete, but that is not normal. Pain is not normal. If pain was normal, every single patient when they get their menstruation, they would have pain. But not everybody has a patient. Not 10 out of the patient when they get their period have to stay home because they have so much pain that they cannot go to work, to college, to school. So pain is not normal. And because endometriosis is so common, the society has normalized it.
Yeah.
They have gaslit it. They have made it to be completely normal. And it is not the fault of the mother or the sister or the teacher or the doctor. It is just, it has ingrained that it is normal, but pain is not normal.
Yes, I remember my mom would, and this is very personal, and I hope she won't be, she probably wouldn't mind, but she would just go to the bathroom and be like, oh my God, there's so much. She would just, it would be very normalized in our household that every month she was going through like extreme bleeding, where she would like made it known in my household that I have to go to bathroom. I can't go anywhere right now because I have to go change my pants because it's so, I'm like leaking all over. And I was like, okay. And I was a teenager, and yeah, very normal in our household. So I don't, I don't want to say she gaslighted, but it was for her. That was normal, and then it became normal for me. So that's why I didn't think much of it, because I had the same thing, lots of bleeding. But I already said that. So
No, you are absolutely correct. And I have not publicly shared this story, but now that you say I should, I have had many people that have my own personal, in my family members that they have had bad endometriosis, that we decided to, my brothers and I, two of them, and also my niece are devoted to endometriosis. Our own mother, she didn't, she had several children, but we remember when we were kids, we didn't know why every month she couldn't get out of bed, and we were, as a kid, we were crying, and we didn't tell her, but she had so much pain, we didn't know why. But of course, later, that is why we knew she had endometriosis, and that is why three of us have devoted our life to treat endometriosis. So you are absolutely correct. It is not always infertility. Endometriosis patients, they suffer, and unfortunately, the society over the generations have normalized it, and we published a big supplement in the Journal of Fertility and Sterility. It is called Endometriosis, Ancient Disease, Ancient Treatment. It is, if any of you want it, please let us know. We will send it to you, the whole, and it is very useful that you see this is not new. And I am hoping that now that we are raising and somehow we make progress to find some at least a way to diagnose it early. Now, I have often said, if endometriosis was a man's disease, we have had an answer for it. And unfortunately, the society puts a blinder on as soon as they think, oh, it is has anything to do with the periods, or society doesn't want to listen to it. And we have to change that, because endometriosis is not only a disease of reproductive organs, it is a whole body disease.
Hmm.
I see, I see patients that have severe pain with every month with bloating, rectal pain, butt pain. They have pain in their
Some people
back.
say like their lungs like collapse or something.
Exactly.
I had stage 4, and so mine was pretty severe as well. But yes, right. And I have a couple of other friends who had surgery with you, and I'm going to keep it private, but they also were successful with pregnancies within this next 6 months after your surgery. But I can't say for the privacy, I'm not going to say their names, but 2 of my friends, they were successful with their pregnancies after your surgeries within 6 months.
That is a very good point. Thank you for telling me, Marketa, that the issue is important that if, there are many options for the patient, and some of them they treat, unfortunately, hormones don't always work, and in many cases, they don't work.
I
And surgery,
go on that, what is it called? You go on like a heavy hormonal treatment and do the transfer, or she said the surgery, and I picked the surgery because I wanted to get cleaned up.
yeah. But you are very smart, brilliant. And that is correct because unfortunately hormones often don't work. It is just like you are pouring water on a fire, but the fire doesn't really completely goes off. It is only ashes and the fire continues to simmer under the ashes. So the issue of the being the whole body disease, sometimes back pain, leg pain. Some patients, they lose a kidney and without knowing because endometriosis is sneaky and could gradually progress. Or a lot of patients, they get a lot of the pain, butt pain, rectal pain, especially if they receive fertility medication, pain gradually get worse. So, Marketa, any among your patients, what has been the most symptoms if they have anybody, if they have pain? What has been, like, is it back pain, heavy periods, or leg pain, or?
For them, for my friends?
Yes.
Oh yeah, one couldn't even get out of bed, had to call emergency services, just really extreme pain, just couldn't get out of bed. And the other one, I think also just very, that was the difference between them and myself, that they had extreme pain. Like they had to take time off work. They couldn't function. In fact, there was extreme, and also they had fertility issues. But yeah, because I was always open and I share my story, they also got it checked, and then they went to you, and and then one of them got pregnant actually naturally afterwards as well. Yes, and now they have babies. So that was the difference, that I didn't have the pain so severe, but my bleeding was heavy, but they had severe pain. So
Marketa, tell us, how is Stella doing and how is your next pregnancy coming along?
she's been such a distraction, I have to be honest. She's the timing, she had to go to the bathroom, and it's been the whole hour here. In a bath right now, but Ronnie's gonna take her outside, and she's gonna say hello, right, Ron? Okay, I'm gonna get her. Okay, I'll be back in a minute. And
Just when Ryan and Marketa, no problem, no, Marketa and Ryan. Thank you, Ryan. I didn't want to interrupt you guys. But, the endometriosis patients, you don't, there is a question from on the line that I noticed. First of all, not every, it doesn't mean that every patient has to have surgery all the time. The majority of the patients that I operate on them don't need another surgery. The earlier you diagnose endometriosis and you suppress it, the risk of surgery is less. The recurrence of endometriosis is not the same on every single patient. Endometriosis behaves, in my experience, very differently on different patients. The more severe the endometriosis is, the more advanced the endometriosis is, and unfortunately the risk of recurrence is higher, especially if there is no suppression, if there is no pregnancy, if there is a lot more fertility medications because they produce a lot more estrogen. The more estrogen, the risk of recurrence of endometriosis is worse. Unfortunately, the more pollution, the areas that are very, very polluted. Oh, look at the beautiful Estella. Hello, Estella. Look at it.
Last turn.
Hello, Estella. How are you doing?
This is Dr. Nezhat.
Oh, look at Estella. Hey, Estella. Estella looks like Miss America, Miss Universe. Hello.
At all. You want to say hi? You want to wave to say hi?
Hello, hello, Estella. Hello. Oh, look at
She's-
Tooth Fairy has come and seen you.
you did your nails painted? Show them.
Oh, look at look at those. Oh, you look great. Wonderful. Look at the shots. Yes, perfect.
She is
So,
very, very lucky. We're very lucky. They're
yeah.
beyond blessed.
How old are you, Estella?
How old are you?
Oh, that's wonderful. That's great.
4. Can you say 4? 4. Yeah, 4.
Have you been, what have you asked Santa to bring you?
A dolly. Yeah, you got a dolly. Yes, we did the European version of Christmas. We had it this morning because she has been sick last week, so we just wanted to make her happy. So we break all the rules.
Oh, that is great. No,
Christmas Eve in Europe, so we were opening presents this morning, and it was fun. Are you excited about having a baby sister? Yeah. Okay.
yes. What are you going to call tell us what is your baby sister's name is going to be? Do you know?
Celine.
Oh, she is Celine. Okay, can you say louder?
Celine.
Oh, what? It's a beautiful name, Celine.
It means a moon, and yours is a star. if when we see her face and it will fit, we'll keep that. So any day, in the next couple weeks.
Yes, so there is somebody is asking that please save this video. I like to watch this. So you are a star, Marketa, Ryan, and Estella, and of course Celine, because the people that already want to watch the video even later. So you have done a good job. You see, Stella, everybody loves you.
What you ask? What did you say? She's being. How old? She's 4. Stop with the tongue. Stop doing the tongue. You're just being so sweet. Yeah. What are you gonna do later? Play with toys?
Yeah.
You had your lunch?
Well, we would love to devote the whole program to Marketa, Brian, and Stella, and hopefully we will visit with Celine also when he comes. So is the name for sure? Stella is this Marketa finished? No, Stella has decided that is going to be the name.
It's got the name that sticks around that she's been saying, and we have a few more, two or three more, but this was the first name that we came up with. My husband came up with, and then he said he didn't like it anymore. But I said I'm too late. I already got attached to it, and I think it's great. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. We still have to be open, but yeah, I like that name. I love that name. We'll see.
Well, I am so happy that you're happy. I want to let you know you and Ryan have been a true pleasure and privilege to know you. I have to thank Dr. Beck sending you because you have been so helpful to many patients around the world in some of these sessions that we have done. And you have come and you have been encouraging because I like always to give good news. My philosophy is I like to give good news always to anybody who comes my way. And thank goodness you have been one that has been spreading good. And I believe in positivity. And whenever and I see, and I am, thank goodness, able to carry or deliver good news for the majority of the people. And you have been one of them that has been, your sequel have been all positive. So, and that was great that you accepted this invitation and with Ryan, and that, it has been very useful.
Thank you. Thank you so much. We feel the same way about you. We're so lucky to know you, and if we can help in any way, we'll just keep doing that. And yeah, we're very, very lucky. We got very lucky. So thank you for everything.
With your permission, we are going to use this over and also part of the Worldwide EndoMarch next year. That this is going to be, this is 10 years when we started EndoMarch, and I know we will help patients for the future, patients like Estella and Celine, her sister, because endometriosis in about 50% of the
Yeah.
time could be genetic. So this is why we are striving to find a way to do things to prevent this from coming from getting progress, to stop it, because knowledge is power. The more we know about endometriosis, the better, because endometriosis unfortunately has, higher rate of complication, and in rare, thank goodness the amount of malignancy is very little. But when we know in advance and we suppress it, then the risk of ovarian cancer is less, because endometriosis unfortunately could be associated with almost twice, a little bit more than twice chance of cancer. But when you know more about it, you suppress it, and knowledge is power. So I know we are delivering all good news in every aspect, because we are making a lot of progress thanks to patients like yourself and your husband Ryan and your children, and physicians like your physician, Dr. Beck, that are leading the way, accepting that endometriosis is a fact. It does exist. You cannot simply gaslight it. And I'd like to thank you immensely and wish you the most wonderful holidays. And I let you finish with the last sentence.
Oh, I just want to also wish you all happy holidays, and also women who are going through the treatment, don't lose hope. There's a happy ending. Just keep going. Just keep going and advocate for yourself. Do your research and just keep going. If you want your family, you will have your family. You'll make your family. So lots of baby dust to all of women who are going through this. And they don't want the babies, but still, yeah, this is mainly the the trying to conceive, which is extremely difficult time in their lives. And I hope they find compassionate friends and support, and they don't have to be in silence. And it's a hard thing to share with friends, but it helps when you have support and compassion and empathy from your friends and family. So it's worse when you go through it quietly. I think for me it would have been. So yes, good luck. And thank you.
I'd like to again thank you very much, Marketa and Ryan and Stella and the baby Celine.
Yeah, we'll send you pictures, and then when your baby is born, I'll send you pictures.
We would love to. We will put it on with your other pictures on one of our offices and we show it to your friends and when you come by.
Awesome.
So,
Thank you.
and also we would like to thank all of you around the world, all the patients, all of the volunteers, and all of their families, communities, what you are doing to make life better for patients with endometriosis and their families. We know the future is much, much better, I promise you. Things are going to get better and better. And please use the app. The Nezhat Endometriosis Advisor app is completely free. It would help you. And also, if you can, for the next year, Worldwide EndoMarch and American and Global Congress of Endometriosis Service Specialists, go to the website, and we are here to help you. And we wish all of you greatness. And I say goodbye. Bye-bye.
Thanks.